I got a text that shattered everything. Leave now. Don't tell your son. It came mid-bite during our weekly family dinner. The kind where we pretended the cracks in our marriage were just the settling of the old Victorian house in suburban Boston. I stared at the screen, fork frozen halfway to my mouth, as my husband Jack smiled across the table at our 10-year-old, Ethan, who was chattering about his latest Lego masterpiece. That message wasn't from a friend or a wrong number, it was from the ghost of my past. The one I'd buried under years of silence and sacrifice. And in that split second, I knew the truth I'd hidden to protect us all was clawing its way out, and it would drag us all into the abyss. I slipped the phone into my pocket, heart slamming like a gavel, and forced a laugh at Ethan's joke. But as Jack refilled my wine glass with that same solicitous grin, I saw it, the flicker of calculation in his eyes. The man who'd sworn to love me forever now plotting my erasure. The rain had been pounding the windows all evening, turning our quiet street in Brookline into a blurred watercolor of sodium lamps and wet leaves. It was one of those New England autumns that felt like the sky was weeping for sins it couldn't name. And tonight, it mirrored the storm brewing in my chest. Ethan shoveled mashed potatoes into his mouth, oblivious, his freckled face lit by the warm glow of the chandelier we'd bought on a whim during our honeymoon in Napa. Jack, ever the picture of domestic perfection, tall, broad-shouldered, with that salt and pepper hair that made him look like a rugged professor rather than the cutthroat corporate lawyer he was, leaned back in his chair, swirling his Merlot. So, how was the gallery today, Allie? He asked, his voice smooth as the vintage we'd splurged on last Christmas. The nickname grated, it always had, a diminutive for Allison, the woman who'd once been his equal, his partner in crime literally. I swallowed the lump in my throat, the text burning a hole in my pocket. Busy. Sold that abstract piece to the tech guy from Cambridge. You know, the one who thinks Rothko's overrated. Lies came easy after 15 years of them. The gallery was my cover. A quaint little space in Beacon Hill where I curated other people's stories because I couldn't tell my own. Ethan piped up. Mom, can I stay up late to finish my fort? It's gonna be indestructible. His eyes, so like Jack's piercing blue, full of unfiltered hope, made my resolve waver. That's why I'd stayed silent all these years. For him. Jack ruffled Ethan's hair. If you promise to crush that math quiz tomorrow. Champ. Father of the year. Right? Except I knew better. The text wasn't random. It was a detonation. Sender unknown. But the words screamed familiarity. Leave now. Don't tell your son. It echoed the night everything fell apart. The night I'd taken the fall for Jack's ambition. We'd met at Harvard Law, both clawing our way up from nothing. Me, the scholarship kid from a trailer park in rural Pennsylvania. Him the golden boy from old Connecticut money. Our bond was forged in late-night cram sessions and shared dreams of shaking the system. But law school turned him ruthless. By our third year, he was interning at a firm that specialized in white-collar defense, defending the indefensible for fat retainers. It started small, a client who needed creative accounting to dodge an SEC probe. Jack handled the paperwork. But when the feds closed in, he panicked. Pinned it on me, his junior associate, forging timestamps on emails that made it look like I'd greenlit the falsified reports. I found out too late, during the raid on our tiny Cambridge apartment. Agents swarmed us at dawn, cuffing me in front of the neighbors while Jack played the shocked fiancé. I had no idea. Allie, he'd whispered as they led me away, his eyes wet with what I now know was relief. I could have flipped, Told them about his late-night calls to the client, the deleted files I'd recovered once. But I didn't. Because 2 months earlier, I discovered I was pregnant.
Ethan.
Our accidental miracle. Jack swore he'd make it right, that the charges would drop if I played along, plead guilty to a misdemeanor, community service, no jail time. For us, he said. For the baby. So I did. Signed the plea. Lost my bar exam dreams. Watched my future evaporate in a haze of probation and non-disclosure agreements. Jack, he graduated top of the class, landed at a top firm, and proposed 6 months later with a ring that screamed atonement. We moved to Boston, built this life, house, gallery job I pivoted to.
Ethan.
But the secret festered. I'd borne his crime, his mistake. And every night, as he climbed higher, I wondered when the other shoe would drop. Dinner dragged on, the clink of silverware a metronome to my unraveling. Ethan excused himself to build his fort, leaving Jack and me alone. He reached for my hand, thumb tracing circles on my knuckles, a gesture that once ignited fire, now felt like chains. You seem distant tonight, he said, concern lacing his tone. Actor that he was. Just tired. I pulled away, standing to clear plates. In the kitchen, I fished out my phone, thumbs hovering. Reply? Block. The sender's number was blocked, but the message had slipped through, burner.
Probably.
My mind raced to possibilities. A whistleblower from the old firm? A Fed with a grudge? Or worse, Jack himself.
Testing me.
The back door creaked open, letting in a gust of damp air. I froze, plate in hand. No one was there, just the wind. But paranoia is a hell of a drug. I locked it, double-checked, then poured myself a scotch, neat, the way Jack hated. Because tonight I needed the burn. Upstairs, Ethan was asleep in his room. Fort half-built. Dinosaurs guarding his dreams. I kissed his forehead, inhaling that boy scent of soap and adventure. I won't let them take you, I whispered. Though who they were, I couldn't say. Down the hall, Jack's office door was ajar, light spilling out. Snooping? Once upon a time. Yes.
Now.
Survival. I nudged it open. His desk was a fortress of legal pads and laptops. But one file caught my eye, Manila. Labeled Contingency. A. Hayes. My maiden name. Heart in my throat. I flipped it open. Pages of depositions. Redacted emails. And at the bottom, a draft affidavit. And signed. Jack's handwriting. Allison Hayes pled guilty to protect her unborn child from scandal. Per our agreement, she will maintain silence in exchange for. The rest was blurred, but I knew. Blackmail. He'd documented it all. A sword over my head for leverage in his rise. Promotions, partnerships, he'd dangled my confession like a noose.
And now?
A recent note. Revisit if divorce proceedings escalate.
Divorce.
The word hit like a sucker punch. We'd danced around it for years, cold silences, separate beds, but this? He was planning my exit. Scripted and cold. Rage ignited. Hot and unfamiliar. I'd sacrificed everything, career, freedom for him, for us. And this was my reward? I snapped photos with my phone, hands shaking, then slipped out. Back in bed. Jack snored beside me, oblivious. Sleep evaded me. Instead, Plans coalesced. Revenge isn't a dish best served cold, it's a slow poison, administered drop by drop. The next morning, Ethan off to school. I drove to the gallery. Mind a whirlwind. My assistant, Mia, a sharp-witted 20-something with purple streaks in her hair, greeted me with coffee. Rough night? You look like you wrestled a ghost. Close enough. I booted up my computer, fingers flying. First, the text sender. A reverse lookup on the number, nothing. VPN traces led to a dead end in Virginia. Government? Or just a savvy civilian?
Then,
Jack's firm. Public records showed his latest case, defending a pharma exec accused of price-gouging opioids, the kind that ravaged Rust Belt towns like mine. Controversial. Sure, Jack spun it as innovation under fire, but whispers in legal circles called it blood money. If I leaked his old fraud ties.
no. Too messy.
Too close to Ethan. The door chimed. A customer. I plastered on my smile. But inside, gears turned. Betrayal, this deep demanded symmetry. I'd make him feel the isolation, the fear of exposure. Start small, anonymous tips to his colleagues, planting seeds of doubt. By afternoon, I drafted an email from a ghost account. Ask Jack Reynolds about the Hayes plea. Misdemeanor? Or cover for felony fraud? Sent to a junior associate I'd friend on LinkedIn years ago. Harmless. Right? Just a nudge. But as the sun dipped,
My phone buzzed again.
same block number. He's lying to you too. Check the safe. The safe. In our bedroom closet. Behind the winter coats, a biometric lock. Jack's fingerprint only. I'd cracked it once. During a paranoid binge. Using a print kit from Amazon. Tonight, I'd do it again. Jack came home late, smelling of bourbon and boardrooms. Big win today, he announced, loosening his tie. Clients thrilled. Congrats. I handed him a drink, watching him sip. Poison? No, not yet. Trust erodes slower. That night, as he showered, I knelt in the closet, scanner whirring.
Click.
Inside, cash stacks, 10 grand, easy, passports with our photos but alternate names, and a USB drive labeled Ease Future. Ethan's. I plugged it into my laptop in the guest room. Heart pounding. Videos. Ethan at soccer. Birthday parties. But interspersed grainy footage of me signing the plea in that sterile courthouse. Voice trembling. Guilty. Your Honor. Jack's voiceover. Insurance. In case she ever wavers. Waivers? I'd been his shield. Not his prisoner. And the passports. Escape plan for him and Ethan?
Without me?
Tears came hot and fast. But I choked them down. This wasn't grief, it was fuel. I copied the drive. Then resealed everything. Jack emerged, towel-clad, and pulled me to bed. Missed you today, he murmured, hands wandering. I let him, body responding on autopilot while my mind plotted. Intimacy as weapon let him think control was his. Dawn broke gray. Ethan hugged me goodbye. Backpack slung low. Love you, Mom. Love you more, kiddo. Words like armor. At the gallery. Another text. Meet me. Fenway.
Dusk.
Come alone. Fenway Park. Abandoned lots nearby. Ghosts of Red Sox glory. Trap? Revelation? I had no gun. No backup, just a mother's fury. Dusk fell like a curtain. I parked in the shadow of the green monster, wind whipping trash across cracked asphalt. A figure emerged from the gloom, not Jack, but Sarah, my old law school roommate, the one who'd ghosted after the plea. "Allie," she breathed, face gaunt under a hood.
God. It's really you.
"You sent the texts." "Not a question." She nodded, glancing over her shoulder. "I had to."
Jack.
"He's unraveling. The firm's onto something from his past, the fraud. They're using it to push him out." My laugh was bitter. "Karma?"
Worse.
"He's targeting you again. Blaming the original mess on you to save his skin. I found emails. He's prepping to testify against you. Flip the narrative. Say you masterminded it all." The world tilted. After everything, he'd sell me out completely? For his precious career? Sarah pressed a flash drive into my hand. Proof. "But Allie."
Run. Take Ethan.
"Jack's not the man you married." I clutched it, bile rising. "Why now? You vanished when I needed you." Guilt. Her eyes welled. "I knew back then. Helped him bury it. Thought it was a one-time thing. But he's poisoned everything." We parted in silence, her silhouette fading into the night. Driving home, Fenway's lights mocking me, I vowed, no more victim. Jack would pay, not with jail, but with the slow bleed of truth. I'd expose him,
Piece by piece.
until his empire crumbled. But as I pulled into the driveway, lights blazing inside, dread coiled. Ethan's laughter echoed. Jack home early? Or something worse? The house felt like a stage set for tragedy when I stepped inside, the scent of takeout pizza clashing with the lavender candles I'd lit that morning for normalcy. Ethan bounded over, sauce smeared on his cheek.
Mom.
Dad got the big one, pepperoni supreme. Jack lounged on the couch, remote in hand, ESPN droning about the Pats' latest scandal. He looked up, smile easy. "Hey, beautiful. Traffic?" "Yeah, brutal." I ruffled Ethan's hair, avoiding Jack's gaze. The flash drive burned in my pocket like contraband. Sarah's words looped. "He's prepping to testify against you." Flip the narrative. We ate on the floor, a fort of pizza boxes and throw pillows. Ethan's domain. Jack played along, hamming up a pirate voice for the delivery guy story. But his eyes tracked me, subtle, like a lawyer cross-examining a witness. Did he know about Sarah? The meeting? Bedtime ritual. Stories for Ethan. Then tucking him in with promises of pancakes. Jack joined, reading from Where the Wild Things Are, his deep timbre lulling our son to sleep. Once, this intimacy had been our anchor.
Now, it was camouflage.
In the hall, Jack cornered me, hands on hips. "What's going on? Allie, you've been off. Work stress. Line number infinity." His fingers grazed my arm, gentle pressure. "Talk to me. We're a team." Team. The word twisted like a knife. I wanted to hurl the drive at him, scream about the passports.
The affidavit.
Instead, I leaned in, lips brushing his ear. Later, after a glass of wine, distraction bought time. In the kitchen, I poured Cabernet, then excused myself to the bathroom. Door locked. I plugged in the drive. Files unfolded, emails from Jack to firm partners.
Time-stamped last week.
Internal audit Hayes matter. Attaching redacted plea docs. Confirms my clean hands, She acted independently to shield pregnancy. Shield? I'd shielded him. Attached. Scans of my signature. Forged annotations, making it look like I'd initiated the fraud. And worse, a fabricated diary entry. In my handwriting, confessing ambition over ethics. Forgery on forgery. The man was a chameleon, shedding skins to survive. I forwarded copies to my ghost email, then deleted traces. Heart racing, I flushed the toilet for cover, emerging with a flush of my own, feigned embarrassment. Wine on the couch. Netflix flickering, a mindless thriller about corporate espionage. Irony thick as fog. Jack's arm around me, head on his shoulder. Remember our first case together? He murmured during a lull. That pro bono gig in Philly? We were unstoppable. I hummed agreement, bile rising. That case had been clean. The fraud came later. His solo side hustle.
Yeah.
Good times. He nuzzled closer. We can get back there. After this opioid mess clears, I'll cut hours. More family time. Lies. All of it. But I played along. Body lax. Mind mapping next moves. Leak to the press? No, too public. Ethan in crosshairs. Internal sabotage. Tip the feds anonymously. Tie his current case to the old sin. Sleep came fitful. Dreams of courtrooms where Jack testified. Ethan in the gallery. Eyes accusatory. Woke to his side empty. Alarm blaring 6 a.m. Note on the counter. Early deposition. Love you.
Love.
The word mocked as I brewed coffee. Ethan stumbling in for cereal. Dad's gonna win big today. Right, Mom? Always does. Buddy. Another lie. But Kinder. Drove him to school.
Kissing his backpack goodbye.
Then. The gallery, Mia waiting with gossip. Heard about the pharma suit? Protests outside the courthouse. Your hubby's in the hot seat. Jack's case. Defending Elysium Labs. Accused of hiking insulin prices while patients ration doses. Controversial didn't cover it. Senators railing on CNN. Families picketing with signs. Not one drop more. Jack spun it as regulatory overreach. But America was fracturing along class lines. The haves versus the have-nots. My have-not roots itched. Mid-morning. A call, unknown number. I let it ring, but voicemail pinged. Sarah's voice. Hushed. Allie. He's suspicious. Change the safe code. Get out while you can. Too late. I was in. Lunch was a salad I didn't eat. Staring at my laptop. Researched PIs, discreet ones in Boston. Specializing in marital dirt. Hired one on retainer. Carla Voss. Ex-cop with a no bullshit rep. What you need. Hayes. Everything on my husband. Financials. Communications. Skeletons. Timeline. Yesterday. Her laugh crackled. Kostya.
But yeah.
I smell rot. By close. Carla texted. Prelim. Offshore account. Cayman Islands. $2 million untraceable. Linked to Elysium bonus? Digging deeper. Jack's clean money? Bribe? My mind reeled. The fraud was just the start. He built an empire on ethical quicksand. Home by 6. Ethan at soccer practice. Jack picking him up. Rare paternal flex. I used the hour to rifle his briefcase. Nothing new. But a scribbled note. Meet VK. 9 p.m.
Seaport.
Finalize. VK? Victor Kane. Elysium CEO. The exec Jack defended. Shady as a back alley deal. I snapped pics.
Sent to Carla.
Dinner solo, pasta, wine, plotting. Jack and Ethan burst in at 7:30, muddy and triumphant. Goal of the season. Ethan crowed. Jack beamed, but fatigue lined his face. Tough day. Protesters everywhere. Read about it. Neutral. He eyed me. You okay? Really? Fine. Kiss on cheek. Then baths for Ethan. Homework help. Bedtime stories again. But this time, Jack begged off. Headache. In his office. Door shut. I waited till midnight. House silent. Crept down. Ear to door. Muffled voices. Phone? Yes. Victor. The testimonies ironclad. She takes the hit. We walk.
Pause. No.
The kids leverage if needed. But it'll break her. My blood iced. Ethan is pawn? For a payoff? Fury propelled me back to bed. But sleep was a joke. Dawn brought resolve. Accelerate. Carla's update. Confirmed. VK wired funds post-fraud cover-up. Jack's cut. Laundered through gallery investments. Your name on some docs. The gallery?
My sanctuary.
Tainted. He'd funneled dirty money through my business. Another layer of entrapment. School drop-off. Then a detour. Coffee shop near the courthouse. Protesters milled. Signs. Chants. Justice for the forgotten. An older woman, hollow-cheeked, handed me a flyer. Lost my boy to those pills. Your man's defending killers. I took it. Guilt by association stinging. I'm sorry, she shrugged. We all bleed. Back at work. Anonymous email to a Boston Globe tip line. Elysium insider ties to old SEC fraud. Reynolds Law involved. Attached redacted proof from Sarah's drive. No names, but breadcrumbs. Jack texted mid-afternoon. Dinner out?
Need to talk. Trap.
But I agreed. Legal seafoods. Neutral ground. Evening. I dress sharp. Black sheath. Pearls, war paint. Ethan to Mia's for sleepover, she'd cover. Mommy-daughter night, I told him. Restaurant hummed. Harbor views glittering. Jack waited at a corner booth. Suit crisp. Expression stormy. Thanks for coming. Wouldn't miss. Ordered oysters. Champagne, celebratory facade. He cut in. Rumors at the firm. About.
Us. The past.
Heart stutter. What kind? Your plea. Someone's stirring shit. His eyes bored in. You, me? Outrage feigned. After all save it. Voice low. Venomous. I know you met Sarah. She's poison. Allie. Always was. Busted. But how? Jealous? Protective.
He leaned in.
Sign this. Slid a folder. Post-nup. Ironclad. Protects Ethan. And us. I flipped pages. Assets to him. Gallery forfeit. Silence clause on prior indiscretions. Cage closing.
No. Pushed it back. His jaw tightened.
Then divorce. I'll fight for full custody. Paint you as unstable, the fraud woman. Remember? Threat bear. Ethan dangling.
I smiled. Cold.
Try it. Left him with the bill. Walked into the night. Phone buzzed. Carla. Got VK meat pics. Bribe handoff.
Sending. Jack.
Envelope thick. Passing to a hooded figure in seaport shadows. Gold. Revenge crystallized. Not destruction, but inversion. Make him the fall guy, as he'd done me. But first, a twist of my own. Texted Sarah, ally. Need your help. One more secret. Her reply, anything. The game flipped. No more pawn. The Seaport District at midnight was a neon ghost town. Glass towers reflecting the harbor like shattered promises. I didn't go home after dinner, couldn't. Not with Jack's ultimatum echoing. Instead, I drove to Sarah's cramped walk-up in Southie. The kind of place where laundry lines sagged between brick tenements and the air smelled of fried clams and regret. She'd buzzed me up, face pale in the fluorescent hall light. Allie, Jesus. You look wrecked. She pulled me into a hug that smelled of chamomile tea and unwashed worry. Feel it, collapsed on her sagging couch. Flash drives exchanged like contraband. He's going nuclear. Custody. Exposure. The works. Sarah brewed tea. Hands steady despite the tremor in her voice. I should have come clean years ago. After law school, I clerked for the DA on your case. Saw the discrepancies. Jack's fingerprints everywhere. But he got to me, threatened my scholarship. My family. Another layer.
Jack.
The spider. Webs everywhere. And now, I'm broke. Blacklisted. But I have this. She opened her laptop. Files cascading, audio clips. Jack's voice on burner calls to VK. Negotiating kickbacks. Recorded last month. He's skimming from the defense fund, funneling to that Cayman account. I listened. Bile rising. Jack's baritone. Smooth as sin. Victor. The jury's leaning our way. Another 100K. And it's sealed. Pharma blood money. Laundered through my gallery. Art sales padded with ghost buyers. Invoices I'd signed blindly. My name. Again. The patsy. We leak it, I said. But smart. No splash, drip. Drip. Sarah nodded. Eyes fierce. Feds, or press. Both. But first, I need dirt on VK. Leverage. She smirked. Already on it. Dude's got skeletons, DUI cover-ups. Mistress payoffs. Jack's his fixer. We plotted till 3 a.m. Anonymous drops to DOJ whistleblower line. Tips to investigative reporters. Sarah's contact at the Globe. A bulldog named Reyes.
He owes me, she said.
Dawn crept in, gray and unforgiving. I hugged her goodbye. This ends it, or starts the war. Home by 7. Jack gone, depot.
Probably.
Ethan back from Mia's, chattering about pancakes. I burned them.
Distracted.
But he laughed it off. You're the best bad cook, Mom. Guilt stabbed. This war, his world, school run, then gallery. Mia sensed the vibe. Spill.
Boss.
You ghost pale. Marital Armageddon. Half-truth. Buried in invoices. I flagged the fishy ones, overpriced sales to Shellcore. Copied to Carla, audit these. Tied to Reynolds.
Her reply on it.
Also, VK's wife.
She's pissed.
Divorce brewing. Wants ammo.
Opportunity.
I drafted a burner email to her lawyer. Elysium XX Fixer has history. Audio attached.
Sent.
Afternoon blurred. Customers.
Coffee.
Constant phone checks. Jack texted, "We need to talk. Tonight." Ethan's room.
Dread.
But I replied, "Fine." Pickup. Ethan beaming. Drawing of our family fort. Hung it on the fridge. Throat tight. Jack home at 6. Takeout Thai, peace offering? We ate in silence. Ethan filling gaps with school tales. Bedtime. I read. Jack watched from the door. Expression unreadable. In Ethan's room.
Post story.
He lingered.
Allie.
The post-nup.
Think about it.
For him. For him? Or your ass? Hurt flickered real?
Us.
The lives we built. Bullshit. Voice low. I know about VK. The bribes. He paled. What, Sarah? And my PI. You're done. Jack. Bluff half true. But it landed. He grabbed my arm. Grip bruising. You breathe a word. I bury you. The plea? I'll say you coerced me, pregnant and desperate, pinning your mess on your fiancé. Gaslight.
Pure.
Try. I've got recordings. Standoff. Breaths ragged. Then. He released.
Sagging.
Allie.
Please.
It's not what you think.
VK. He has dirt on me.
From the old days. Force my hand. Victim now? The flip classic Jack.
Save sob story.
Sign over the gallery clean. Joint custody. And we're done quiet. He laughed.
Hollow.
Or the Globe gets a front page special. Top lawyers pharma payoff plot. Eyes narrowed. You destroy us? Ethan? For him?
No.
For you? Yes. He stormed out. Door slamming. I sank to the bed. Ethan stuffed bear mocking me. Victory? Or Pyrrhic? Night fractured. Jack in office. Pacing audible. I texted Carla. Escalation. Watch your back. Her always. Got VK, wife's confirmation, divorce filed. Cites infidelity.
Fraud.
Dominoes. Sleep evaded. Dreams of pleas.
Cuffs.
Woke to Ethan climbing in. Bad dream.
Mom.
The fort fell. Held him close. Will rebuild. Morning. Jack civil.
Coffee poured.
Truce, he offered. Wary. Drove Ethan. Radio on Globe tease. Elysium scandal deepens? My tip. Budding. Gallery. Chaos. Mia. Reporters called. Something about art fraud.
Panic.
Jack's counter? No. Timing off. Then. Reyes from the Globe. In person. Sharp suit. Sharper eyes. MS. Hayes. Off-record chat. Booth at the cafe, next door. Heard you're tangled in Reynolds' Web. Who? Sources.
Wink.
Your tip panned. But need more. The fraud tie-in. I weighed. Hypothetical, if a lawyer covered for a client years back. Using his wife as shield. Juicy.
Pen poised.
Name? Hesitated. Not yet. He slid a card. When you're ready.
Back.
Phone exploded. Sarah. DOJ sniffing. VK's panicking, called Jack. Screaming.
Good.
But Jack's next text. Meet me.
Park. Now.
Emergency. Logan Park. Benches by the lagoon. He waited. Disheveled. Uncharacteristic. Allie. VK's flipping. blaming me for everything. I need you to corroborate. Say it was all you, the old fraud. In exchange, I walk away clean. You keep the house. Ethan primary. Bargain from hell. Sell my soul again? For what? Your freedom. For survival. Desperation cracked his facade. He's got photos, us. Back then.
Compromising.
If it leaks. Photos?
Blinked.
What photos?
You.
Pregnant. Signing the plea. But edited. Looks like coercion on my part.
No.
Wait, he doctored them to make me the victim.
Twist.
DK. The puppet master.
Jack.
Pawn now? Prove it. He handed his phone images. Time-stamped recent.
Me. Teary-eyed.
Hand on belly. Confessing to framing Jack. Deep fake? Or real memory twisted? Doubt slithered. Had I been that broken? Help me, he pleaded. Like before. Before. The word hung. Betrayals echo.
No.
Walked away. Lagoon mocking with ripples. But in the car,
Tears came.
was he playing me? Or drowning too? Carla called. VK's on the move, private jet. But intercepted email, to feds. Fingering Jack. Storm breaking. Home. Ethan's safe. Homework done. Jack absent, hiding? Night fell. Text from unknown. He's lying. VK has the originals.
Run.
Sarah? Or VK? Paranoia peaked. Pack-to-go bag, passports, mine and Ethan's. Hidden duplicate. Cash from safe. Code unchanged, sloppy. Jack. Ethan asleep. I sat vigil. Revenge or retreat? The line blurred. Dawn. Sirens distant. News alert. Elysium CEO flees country amid probe. Jack's empire cracking. But his car pulled in. Headlights cutting fog. He entered, wild-eyed. Allie, it's over. VK's gone rogue, sent the deepfakes to the press.
They're coming for me.
Sympathy flickered, traitor heart. Then face it. He dropped to knees.
Please.
For Ethan. Testify it's fabricated. Save me. Moment of truth. Forgive or strike? I knelt. Face to face. One condition. Full truth. The fraud who started it. Silence stretched.
Then me.
But you knew.
Allie.
You signed off.
Lie.
Or half-truth. Memory fogged by time. Hormones. Prove you're changed. He nodded. Broken. Papers drawn. Everything yours. Truce or trap? As he drafted on his laptop. Doubt nod. Check his email. Open tab. Message to VK. She's in.
Stand down.
Betrayed again. The flip. Rage pure. Snatched the laptop. Smashed it on the floor. You son of a... He lunged. But I was faster. Pepper spray from purse. Hiss and coughs. Grabbed Ethan.
Bag. Keys.
Out the door. Into night. Fled to Sarah's. Heart thunder. It's war now. She nodded. Then let's end it. Sarah's apartment became our bunker. The walls thin enough to hear neighbors' arguments bleeding through like accusations. Ethan, groggy from the midnight extraction, curled on the couch under a quilt that smelled of mothballs and mercy. Where's Dad? Mom, he mumbled, eyes heavy.
Sick.
We'll visit soon.
Lie.
Soft as a lullaby. I stroked his hair, watching his chest rise fall. Each breath a reminder. This was for him. Jack's final betrayal. The email to VK. She's in had severed the last thread. No more illusions. He wasn't drowning. He was directing the flood. Using me as flotsam. Sarah brewed coffee. Black as sin. Cops. Restraining order. Eventually, I sipped. Bitter burn grounding. First, armor up. Carla's got the bribe pics. Send to Reyes. She typed furiously. Attachments flying.
Done.
And I pulled strings. Old clerk buddy at DOJ. They're fast-tracking VK's extradition. Ethan stirred. Cartoons on low volume. SpongeBob's laugh, a jarring counterpoint. Called Mia. Emergency vacui. Gallery closed 2 days. Family stuff. Her. Gotcha.
Kick-ass.
Boss. Morning unfolded in fragments. Cereal for Ethan. Playtime with Sarah's dusty board games. He built empires from Monopoly houses, oblivious to ours crumbling. I fielded Jack's calls. 20. Voicemails escalating. Allie.
Come home.
It's a misunderstanding. Then, you'll regret this. Finally. Silence. Ominous. Carla met us at a park. Trench coat and thermos. Ex-cop vigilance. Deepfakes confirmed. VK's tech guy. But originals? From your plea hearing. Public record. Twisted.
Public.
The shame I'd buried. Now weaponized. And Jack. Co-conspirator. Wired $50K to VK's fixer last week. Cover for the cover-up. Ethan kicked a soccer ball. I watched. Gut churning. Custody fight incoming. Carla nodded. File first. I've got a shark family law. Cutthroat. Protection net weaving. Afternoon. Reyes called. Hayes, your tip's gold. Meeting editors. Want in, anonymous quote. Tempted. Voice raw. Say this. The system's rigged for men like Reynolds. Wives pay the price.
Poetic.
It'll run. News broke at 5. Globe splash. Pharma mogul flees as lawyers bribe. Scandal erupts. Blurry seaport photo. Jack's silhouette unmistakable. TV flickered in Sarah's kitchen. Pundits dissected. Is this the fall of Big Pharma's enablers? Or witch hunt? Ethan pointed. That's Daddy's workplace.
Was.
Sweetie. Hugged him tight. Change coming. Jack's text pierced. Front page? You bitch. Ethan will hate you.
Blocked.
But Sting lingered. Would he? Night. Ethan down. Sarah and I schemed. Twist the knife, she said. Leak the old fraud docs. Tie it all. Risky. Exposes me. Or freeze you. Her eyes. Haunted mirrors. You took the fall once. Not again. Agreed. Drafted to DOJ. Supplemental. Reynolds 2008 SEC cover. Plea was shield for his fraud. Attached everything, emails, audio. My confession video with context note. Coerced testimony.
Sent. Die cast.
Sleep shallow. Dreams of court. Jack testifying. Me gavel struck silent. Woke sweating. Ethan's arm flung over mine. Dawn sirens again. Closer. News update. Feds raid Reynolds' law offices. Jack's firm. Swarming suits. Carla, he's lawyered up. Wants neat, neutral.
Tomorrow.
Trap. or surrender. Agreed. Courthouse steps. Public eyes. Dressed armor, pantsuit. Hair pulled severe. Ethan to a neighbor kid's, Sarah's vouch. Be brave. Mom, he said. Pancake mouthful. A courthouse loomed. Granite sentinel. Jack waited. Flanked by a shark, iron gray hair. Rolex gleam. No tie defeated? Allie, voice hoarse.
This.
Madness. You're doing. Stood tall. Carla at my elbow. His lawyer. MS. Hayes. My client proposes settlement. Full assets transfer. Joint custody. Supervised for you.
Given.
History. Supervised? For the plea? Outrage boiled. My history is your client's forgery. Jack flinched. Allie. Stop. The raids, VK's framing me. Testify. Say the bribes were your idea. Galleries slush fund. Flip again. Victim eternal.
No.
I'm done shielding. Paparazzi flashes popped. Reporter surged. Mr. Reynolds. Comment on the fraud allegations. He froze. Mask cracking.
No.
Comment. I leaned in. Whisper. Rot in hell. Jack. Walked away. Cameras trailing. Headline fodder. Back at Sarah's. Ethan napped. Phone. DOJ callback. MS. Hayes. Your supplemental's compelling. Interview. Soon. Voice steady. Evening. Jack's desperate voicemail. Allie.
Please.
Ethan's asking. I love you.
Delete.
But tears, residual. Foolish. Next day's blurred. Lawyers. Depots. Filed for divorce. Emergency custody.
Judge.
Stern. Given allegations. Temporary sole to petitioner.
When.
But hollow. Ethan's confusion. When's dad home?
Soon.
But mommy's house now. Gallery reopened. Mia manned fort. Customers whispered. But sales ticked scandal chic? Reyes followed up. Profile piece. The woman who broke the machine. I posed vague. But truth seeped. Betrayals cost. Climax brewed. VK extradited. Hearing set. Jack subpoenaed as witness. Against me?
No.
For the defense? Chaos. Carla unearthed gold. Jack's journal. Digital scraps. Entries. Allie suspects. Must neutralize. Custody leverage key. And earlier. She took the plea. Grateful forever? Or grudge?
Grudge.
He'd known the poison. Sarah. Use it. In court. But twist loomed. Anonymous package. Manila. No return. Inside. Photos, not deepfakes.
Real. Me.
Pregnant. Arguing with Jack pre-plea. Him pleading. Do this. For us. My face, resolute. Not coerced. Had I chosen it? Memory fractured. Yes. For the baby. But his orchestration.
Doubt.
Was revenge blinding? Or justice? Jack called. Unblocked for this. Saw the pics?
Truth. Allie.
You want it out clean.
I.
Facilitated. Facilitated. Euphemism for frame. Save it for trial. Trial day. Federal courthouse. Boston sweltering unusual December heat. VK in orange.
Smug.
Jack on stand.
Sworn.
Prosecutor. Mr. Reynolds. Your role in the kickbacks? Jack. Eyes on me. Gallery rear.
I.
Facilitated. But under duress, from MS. Hayes.
Gasps.
Flip, blame the wife. Objection overruled. My turn next. Heart hammered. Testify truth, his schemes. But the photos, ambiguity. Stood. Hand on Bible. I do. Questions flew. Plea details. Gallery funds. Then, did you coerce Mr. Reynolds?
Pause.
The split-second choice.
Lie.
Sink him.
Truth.
Split blame.
I.
Suggested the cover. For our family. Partial. The courtroom murmured heroes. Villains blurred. Prosecutor frowned. But evidence shows. Context. Voice clear. He executed. I endured. Jack's eyes, gratitude, or calculation. VK's lawyer pounced. So, shared guilt.
No.
His ambition. My sacrifice. Jury leaned. Divided. No clear villain. Recess. Jack cornered me in hall.
Why?
Twist.
Jack.
You don't drown alone. Back in. Testimony wrapped. Verdict pending. But the real climax, Ethan's drawing. Slipped to me by a bailiff. Jack's doing? Fort rebuilt. Us three inside.
Tears.
The divide. Right or wrong. The verdict came down like a thunderclap on a humid Boston afternoon. The kind where the air clings like regret. VK. Guilty on all counts, bribery. Fraud. Flight to avoid. 10 years. No parole. The courtroom erupted. Cheers from prosecutors. Sobs from his trophy wife in the front row. Her diamonds flashing like accusations. Jack. Mistrial on his charges. Hung jury. 6-4 split. Whispers rippled. Holdouts swayed by the wife's testimony. My testimony. The partial truth I doled out. Admitting complicity in the old fraud to undercut his full flip. It humanized him. Muddied the waters. No clean win. Just the gray ooze of real life. Reporters swarmed as we exited. Mics thrusting like bayonets. MS.
Hayes.
Did you orchestrate the takedown? Reynolds. Innocent or enabler? I shielded my face. Carla bulldozing a path. No comment. But inside. The churn. By softening the blow. Had I spared Jack or myself? Ethan waited curbside with Sarah. Ice cream cone melting in the heat.
Mom.
Did the bad guys lose? Some did. Buddy. Hugged him sticky sweet. Jack emerged last. Gaunt in his rumpled suit. Eyes locking mine across the scrum. No words. Just a nod, truce? Or threat deferred. We drove to a park. Ethan chasing ducks while Sarah and I decompressed on a bench. You threw the jury, she said. Not accusing.
Had to.
Full truth would have dragged me under too. Ethan can't have two parents in stripes. She sighed. Noble. Or controversial. Controversial. That's what it was, me. Choosing mercy, laced with poison. Jack's empire gutted. Disbarred pending appeal. Firm dissolved. Cayman funds seized. But free.
For now.
And custody? Joint. Supervised exchanges. I'd won the house. Gallery intact, minus the laundered taint. Scrubbed by forensic accountants. Weeks blurred into a fragile normal. Gallery thrived on notoriety. True crime tourists snapping pics of my innocence wall. Curated exhibits on betrayal in art. Mia joked. From fraud to fame. Boss. But nights were raw. Ethan asking for dad. Jack's supervised visits, tense photo ops in neutral cafes. One Saturday. Post drop-off. Ethan back. Chattering about Jack's new apartment. Tiny. Like a fort. My phone buzzed. Unknown. We need to talk. One last time. The truth about the plea.
Jack.
Had to be. Address. Our old Cambridge spot. The apartment where it began. Sarah, don't. But closure called. When alone. Dusk settling like dust. Door ajar. Wine breathing on the counter, same vintage.
Ghosts.
He poured. Hands steady.
Alley.
Sit. No games. No games. Collapsed on the couch. Years etching deeper. The pics, the real ones. VK didn't fake them all. Showed his phone, video. Grainy camcorder from our plea prep. Belly swollen. Pacing our kitchen. Jack off camera. Allie, the feds have emails yours.
Plead.
And it's misdemeanor. Baby safe. Future intact. My voice. Fierce. Your mess.
Jack.
I fix it for Ethan?
Pause.
Then, yes. But together. I'd agreed. Not coerced, chosen. His frame was real, but my sign-off too. Partnership in crime. Why show now? Throat tight.
Twist.
Bitter smile. You spared me in court. Reciprocate. The full file, your innocence. Provable. Emails I buried. Proving I authored every falsification. Send to DOJ. Clear your record. Handed a drive.
Why? Ethan. And.
You. I broke us. Not all your fault. Tears pricked. The antagonist. Human. Too late. Maybe. Stood.
Close.
Or restart. Clean. Tempted. Old fire flickering. But betrayal scar. No. Friends. Co-parents.
Nod.
Fair. Drove home. Drive clutched. Uploaded to DOJ that night. Exculpatory. Hayes plea reversal request. Days later. Response. Under review. Record expunged pending. Freedom's whisper. Months on. Spring thawed Boston. Cherry blossoms mocking winter's grip. Ethan's birthday, 11 now. Lego Tower epic. Jack arrived. Gift in hand. Fort blueprint. Signed from Dad. The architect of mistakes. We grilled in the yard. Awkward quadrille me. Jack. Sarah invited. Buffer. Ethan King. Laughter edged in.
Tentative.
Later. Tucking Ethan. Best party?
Mom.
Even with the fighting. Fighting's over. Kiddo.
Is it?
DOJ cleared me, bar eligible again. Dreams dusted off. Gallery expanded. Exhibit. Shadows of sacrifice. Anonymous tales of women who bore men's sins. Jack. Private practice. Pro bono focus. Opioid victims. Ironic redemption. We co-parent. Tech civil. Visit smooth. Romance? Buried. But glances linger. The twist, last week. Anonymous text, new number. Proud of you. S. Sarah? Or Jack? Final play? Debate rages in my head. Villain redeemed. Or schemer lurking. Heroine. Or enabler. Readers hell. Me split. Justice served. Or compromise sold. Ethan dreams big. Lawyer, like dad. Or artist, like mom. I watch him sleep, fork guarding. Vengeance, got it in dozes. But peace, trickier beast. The rain returns, tapping windows like fingers. Another storm, or just weather.
E pour Scott, meet.
Raised to shadows, to oaths broken, and remade. Fade to whatever comes.